This is the Board of License Commissioners Tuesday, March 21st meeting. First floor board room of City Hall. Before we start, let me read the open meeting law. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. Let me put that aside there. We have Joe Newton, the Assistant City Clerk, sitting in for City Clerk Nicole Crispo today. This is Joe's first license board meeting. That's your first meeting of boards, being a ward councilor for many years. You basically know how it all works. So we have 10 items on the agenda with 2 addendums. And with that, I'm going to start with the charities first. We are going to do agenda item number 1, hearing regarding the request of Interfaith Social Services for a 1-day permit for the annual social walk and 5K fundraiser. Miss Paula Daniels or John O'Donnell.
Good afternoon. John O'Donnell. I'm a board member and volunteer with Interfaith Social Services, requesting the permit for Interfaith Social Services 43rd Annual South Shore Walk.
What
on
number?
April 29th. 43rd.
43rd.
Yes. And the organization is 70 years old this year. Quincy can be proud of that. It is on April 29th, and it will be rain or shine. We expect, depending on the weather, 200 to 300 participants. The event will start and end at the Kennedy Center. There is no changes to the route this year. Actually, there is.
What's the date of the
April
event?
29th.
April 29th.
The route has not changed. There are no road closures. Again, as I said, there have been no changes to anything this year. We have contacted Captain DeBona of the community police, and they will be on hand, and that's great. It's so conscientious. There will also be volunteer crossing guards along the route to make sure all these walkers and the runners stay on the route. And Fallon Ambulance will be on site. The start times and the end times are again the same. Registration starts at 9:30. The race begins at 10:30. At 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, there'll be refreshments and activities for the children. And we expect to be out of the Kennedy Center at 2 o'clock after cleanup. And there will be approximately 40 volunteers on site as well from Interfaith Social Services.
Before I open it up to the board, any comments from the audience, questions, concerns? Seeing none, I'll close. Board members?
Chairman, I'd like to make a
43rd?
motion.
Go right ahead.
43rd.
Yeah.
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of Interfaith Social Services for their 43rd 1-day permit for an annual South Shore Walk and 5K fundraiser on April 29th at 9:30 a.m. Second.
Motion made and seconded to grant the request of Interfaith Social Services for a 1-day permit for their 43rd annual South Shore Walk and 5K run fundraiser, represented by Mr. John O'Donnell. It starts April 29th, 9:30, and it's at the Kennedy Center. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
You're all set, okay?
Thank you.
Agenda item number 2, hearing regarding the request of Best Buddies Challenge, Saturday, June 3rd, 2017, for the annual bike race fundraiser. Mr. Paul Curley.
Good afternoon, Paul Curley. I'm the route manager for the 19th annual. It's my 13th year as the route manager, and we are hoping to do this on Saturday, June 3rd of 2017. And we would like to use 5.6 miles of roadway in the town of Quincy, city of town. City or town?
City.
City of Quincy. And we will hire 4 or 5 details for that event, as we have in the past.
And what time does we start?
Yeah, first ride should be into Quincy about 7:19.
And are they coming down
We're on
Quincy Shore Drive?
Quincy Shore Drive.
Okay.
You starting at UMass again?
No, we've changed the start. Last year we changed the start to Santander Bank. Santander Bank on Morrissey Boulevard. There was just too much construction at UMass and JFK. So we're gonna stay there because it was a lot smoother getting onto Morrissey, yeah.
And how long will we be in Quincy for?
Our slowest rider should leave here at 8 a.m.
At 8, leave Quincy at 8 a.m.?
Yeah, should be through Quincy at 8 a.m.
Okay, what time does it start, 7?
We start at 7 from the bank.
So you'll be in for approximately an hour.
Yes.
Okay. Before I open up to the board, any other comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none closed. Board members?
What's the actual route through Quincy? Just through?
Quincy, we're on Quincy Shore Drive to C Street, and then we come out and go left onto 3A, Southern Artery. We go straight onto 53 and head towards Weymouth Landing.
Pretty direct shot right through.
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of Best Buddies Challenge Saturday, June 3rd, 2017, for their 19th annual bike race, represented by Mr. Paul Curley, Group Manager.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to grant the request of Best Buddies Challenge, Saturday, June 3rd, 2017, for their annual bike race fundraiser. Mr. Paul Curley, the route manager, representing. All in favor? Aye. You're all set.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 3. What's that name? Hearing regarding the request of Quincy Rides the Spine for a one-day special use permit for the annual bike race, Saturday, May 13th, 2017. Mr. Tim Linehan and Mr. Maureen Conway?
Yes.
Come on up, Maureen.
So this is the third year that we're riding the Spine as part of Bike Week. It's a 9-mile loop. We're going to be starting at 180 Old Colony Ave, going down Hancock Street under the Neponset River Bridge, coming back up Hancock Street, going to Washington Street, turning around at the Quincy Point Congregational Church, and back to Old Colony.
The same route back?
Yes. We're starting, first of all, there is no rain date. We have registration at 8:30. We'll be starting the ride at 9. We expect to end at 11, and cleanup time is 11:30. Lieutenant Bina of the Quincy Police has pledged 5 to 7 officers for the route.
And this is a bike ride, not a motorcycle ride?
No, it isn't.
Bike
It's all
ride.
bicycles, yeah, push bikes. We will have insurance. However, we cannot purchase it up until 30 days prior to the event.
Okay. Anybody in the audience have any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, I'll close. Board members?
How many riders do you usually get?
Good question. I should have said that. 45 to 50. They're primarily adults. We have in the past had at least one, maybe 2 12 to 14-year-olds, and they were accompanied by a parent.
Board members, your pleasure.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of Quincy Rides the Spine for a one-day special use permit for their annual bike race, Saturday, May 13th, 2017.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to grant the request of Quincy Rides, the Spine, for a one-day special use permit for the annual bike race, Saturday, May 13th, 2017, with a start time at 8 a.m.
Actual riding is going to be 9 to 11.
Just registering everything else. And then
Yeah.
close it. So from 8 to noon time
Yes, correct.
on Saturday, May 13th, represented by Maureen Conway. All in
Yeah.
favor? Aye.
Can I
You're all set.
just
Go ahead.
be so bold as to make a correction? A couple of times you said Quincy's bike race. It is not a bike race. And we really want to make that clear. It's a
Okay.
bike ride.
Quincy Rides the Spine.
Yeah, so it isn't, I thought I heard a couple of you say
Okay.
race. And we
For
want to
their
be very
annual bike, for the
clear.
annual
Like a
bike
fun run.
ride.
Bike ride, yeah.
So we're not in any hurry to get anywhere, we're just gonna ride.
Yeah, we don't want to scare people
So I'll
off.
do this over for you then, okay? Motion made and seconded to grant the request of Quincy Rides the Spine for a one-day special use permit for their annual bike ride, Saturday, May 13th, from 8 a.m. till noon time, represented by Maureen Conway. All in favor?
Aye.
There you go.
Thanks very
It's
much.
official. It's a bike ride. Hearing regarding the request, agenda item number 4, hearing regarding the request of Elena's Cafe, 1 Battery March Park for a one-day wine and malt permits. March 23rd, 3:30 to 5, and October 30th, 4:30 to 7. The private functions under the NFPA represented by Sam Mishkira. Sam, how are you?
Good
You
thing.
weren't here a couple weeks ago.
I know, I messed
We
up.
gave it to you anyway.
It was my birthday. man.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. I totally forgot.
So why don't you just tell us quickly what you're doing there and,
They are doing a cocktail hour for the employees from 4:30 till 6:30, for about 40 to 50 people. They do that every year.
is that on the March 23rd one?
Yes,
And for the October 30th?
it's, they're doing the same thing for 100 people.
Okay. And it's not open to the public, it's,
No.
this is all a private function under the
Yes.
NFPA. Any comments or questions?
What are the hours for both of them?
4:30 till 6:30. Make them till 7:30 just in case, I don't know if.
We have 4:30 to 7:30, yeah,
7:30,
that's what we'll go with, okay?
Yes,
For both days.
thank you.
Any other comments, questions?
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of Elena's Cafe, 1 Battery March Park, for 2 one-day wine and malt permits. One March 23rd, 4:30 to 7:30, and October 30th from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. for private functions at the NFPA offices.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to grant the request of Elena's Cafe, 1 Battery March Park for a one-day wine and malt permits, March 23rd and October 30th from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. for private functions up at the NFPA, represented by Sam Mishkiri. All in favor?
Aye.
Sam, you're all set, okay?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. I believe those are all of the charities. Before I jump ahead, I am gonna go off the line. I do have an addendum here real quick, and I see her here, and it's gonna be a quick one. Kerry, why don't you come on up? This is Kerry Delaney. She operates 16C over on Cottage Ave. And she's actually just gonna be opening up at 10 a.m. on Sundays for a brunch license to allow her to serve. She just wants to come before us and get permission,
I
so.
would like Saturday and Sunday, if that would be okay.
Saturday, you can serve anyway from 8
Okay,
a.m.
Perfect, so I'm just gonna do brunch on Sundays.
Just brunch on
Perfect.
Sundays. So
Perfect.
give us a little, what you gonna be doing? Tell us about brunch on Sundays.
Frittatas, eggs, waffles, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
It'll be all right. Spiced iced coffee,
Mimosas and that
Yeah.
stuff too.
Bloody Marys.
Anybody in the audience have any comments, questions? Seeing none, we'll close it. Board members?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to allow 16C to open at 10 o'clock on Sunday mornings.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to grant the request of Kerry Delaney of 16C, which is called 16C, and it's at 16 Cottage Ave, to open up at 10 a.m. on Sundays for brunch. All in favor?
Aye.
You're all set,
Thanks.
Kerry. Thank you.
I'll see you later, thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Agenda item number 5. Hearing regarding the request of H. Patel, DBA Subway, 247 Quincy Ave, for a common vicular license. And you are H. Patel?
Correct, Harding.
And what does the H stand for?
Harding Patel,
Harding?
Harding, H-A-R-D-I-K.
So why don't you tell us about what you're gonna be doing? You're gonna be taking over the Subway over on
Yeah.
247 Quincy Ave. It used to be a bike shop many, many years ago, right? See that? Joe's not here, and we can still talk history.
It's just a transfer of ownership from Ismail, who was the previous owner, to me. We're keeping the same restaurant.
Have you have you worked for him there before, or have you had any experience in the restaurant business?
Correct, I actually own 6 other Subway restaurants in and around Boston area.
Okay. Any comments, questions from the audience? Seeing none, we'll close. Board members?
You share that location with another tenant next door?
Correct, I believe it's Nell
Nell's
Spa, I believe.
There's always complaints in that area about the front landscaping.
Correct, I spoke to the building inspector and he did make it aware to me. I have brought it to the landlord's attention as well.
I would ask between you and the tenant to be proactive, to keep the landscaping, but more importantly, it seems a lot of debris ends up in the landscaping all the time, so I would just ask that on a daily basis, you go out and make sure it's clean.
Okay, are you talking about where the parking is or?
We're talking
Right
below the parking, the wall, the
The
retaining
wall.
wall. That's a catch-all for anything blowing down Quincy Avenue. Unfortunately, it's a catch-all in front of your store.
Correct, yes.
So we have you here in front of us, and you're kind of captive, and you want this license, right?
Correct.
So we would really, really like it if on a daily basis, one of the first jobs of whoever employee opens up, they take 5 minutes, and that's all it takes if you do it every day,
Right.
to just walk down around in front of the retaining wall, not the parking lot, in front of the retaining wall, and just pick up the pages. It
Okay.
would really mean a lot to us.
Yes, we'll make sure that, we'll do our best, like you said, every morning.
That's fantastic.
Probably not the weekend I can promise, but every morning on Monday to Friday.
We appreciate that. Again, you know, if you miss a day, it's not a big deal, because if you're doing it every day, then you catch up on it. But
And
when you go 3 weeks without doing it, then it becomes a big deal.
correct, I'll work with the other tenant as well.
That would be awesome.
Thank you.
Chief Bannon?
Yes, Mr. Patel, I was by there earlier, and one of my inspectors was by. You have a couple of fire extinguishers that are
Correct.
outdated. And, we won't hold you up for it, we'll be by in a week or so to check and make sure. that-
I have contacted a couple of fire extinguishers. I should have it lined up this week, or if not, the beginning of the following week.
Great, thank you.
It's your guys.
Yeah, I can't, well,
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm sure it's,
So we have both, the building department were there, as was the health department. We have all of the other necessary paperwork, the workman's comp, the emergency contact, the certificate of compliance, your check, everything else is in good shape. With that, again, I don't know if I did it or not, anybody in the audience have any comments or questions? Seeing none, board members, what's your pleasure?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of Haddock Hotel DBA Subway, 247 Quincy Ave for a common victual license.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to grant the request of H. Patel, DBA Subway, 247 Quincy Ave for a common victual license. All in favor?
Aye.
You're all
Good.
set. Good luck, okay? Thank you very much for working with us on the front.
No problem, I'll do my best.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 6, hearing regarding the request of Foreign Motors Inc., 586 Willow Street for a garage repair license. David Bluestein. David, come on up.
Afternoon.
This is David Bluestein from 586 Willow Street, which was Foreign Motors. We gave you a used car license, maybe, what, 3 years ago?
No, back in 2008.
2008, man. That's a long time ago.
Just to introduce as my business partner, Vice President Kyle Chadwick.
Okay, so tell us what's going on up there now.
We were incorporated in 2005, opened our business and bought that location that we're at now on Lewin Street in 2008. Since then, we've been strictly dealing with BMW vehicles. In the process of redoing our entire facility right now, which we're about probably 4 weeks or so away from having done. Have 2 bays in there, and we would like to get involved with service, so strictly BMWs as well. Majority of our clientele base comes from Quincy, Milton, Braintree area, and we are pretty much the only game in town when it comes to BMWs strictly. So,
And this is all being built brand new?
yeah, correct, correct.
Before I open it up to the board, anybody in the audience have any comments, questions? Seeing none, board members?
Have we decided on a number of vehicles? We talked last week, Kyle. You were gonna maybe send something in advance.
Yeah, we have it, and I think Cindy has copies for everybody too, of the lot plan. As far as our license with some designated spots for service as well, and any drive-in customers.
Did you have a particular number?
What we have right now is 17 spots, which is on our current license. We're able to accommodate 8 service customers and 2 employee parking spots on top of that. We don't really need the employee parking spots anyway because our employees, which is really Kyle, myself, and Brad, drive our sales cars anyway on a regular basis, so we don't really have additional cars. But nonetheless, we set it up such that there was still the existing 17 sales spots, in addition to 8 service spots and 2 employee parking spots, with room in the center to move around.
To not block the bays or the entrance.
Has anybody, have you looked at the plan? Yeah.
Oh, do you want?
No, I have one here. I just, I was hoping to get something in advance, something scaled. I know you had 17 before. The building is larger, a little larger.
Correct.
You know, we don't wanna set you up for failure, but you don't wanna overcrowd the lot. It's hard to tell from this plan for me. It
We
looks
lost
like it's
2
pretty
parking
full,
spots.
a lot. Looks like it's pretty full.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost 2 spots by doing this addition to the left of the building where Service Bay 1 is. That was 2 spots right there. Right now, all these boxes are drawn out at 8 by 20, those spots, meaning 8 feet wide, 20 feet deep. Per parking spot is how we drew it out. We're open to ideas if you guys,
For me, I would say if you had 17 and that worked for you, you lost 2 spaces.
We did lose 2, we lost 2 spots by the addition, by the way.
So I'm thinking maybe keep it at 15, you can always come back.
I'm okay with that.
Can we, I know what you're saying, can we keep it at 17 because the service bay area that you just took,
Get 2 spots.
you'll have 2 spots in there, so.
Are you gonna be keeping cars overnight?
Our own cars, customers' cars, I don't really like to. Most of our clientele, like I said, they live and work in this area. So
They want the car
they
back.
want the car back as bad as we want to get them the car back.
You adding employees, or you said what, 2 spots for employees?
It's Kyle and myself that own it, and then I've got Brad, who is currently doing sales. Brad is gonna actually transition over to service.
So how many total employees?
3 employees.
Oh, 3, okay.
So my concern then too is, you're adding an element now where you have so many cars for sale, which you're gonna give me that number in a second.
Sure.
But you're also adding, you may have as many as, who knows, 5 or 6 that are coming and going, and then you may also keep those overnight. So you could possibly go over the 17 during the day, depending on what kind of repairs. Are you doing auto body repair at all?
No, just.
So just minor repairs, oil changes,
Maintenance.
maintenance?
Correct.
So, that's an element now that they've added to the equation. How many vehicles do you think you'll be repairing on a daily? So people drop it off for repair?
Sure, yeah, the goal is to have people drop off for repair. We do have a waiting room in our new building.
So they
if
can
someone
wait
wants
while
to
it's being
wait,
repaired? So you
certainly
may
can.
have as many as how many people waiting for repair or dropping off?
I'm estimating by our projections that we'll probably have somewhere around 4 cars a day, meaning 2 per day.
Mostly it's someone drops it off at 7 o'clock in the morning,
And
8
picks up
o'clock.
at the
Picks
end
up
of
at
the day.
Sometimes they pick it up at noontime, sometimes they pick it up at the end of the day, it depends on if they're working or not.
Correct.
So I guess what Commissioner Duca is getting around to is, we're giving you 17 cars.
Sure.
You break it up however you want. You wanna have,
Okay.
you wanna have 12 cars
So
for
7
sale,
total.
17,
17
it
total.
would be a used car license and
17 total
Repair.
cars on the lot at the end of the
Okay,
day.
Gotcha.
We
Okay.
realized that, you know what, Mary Lou got tied up and she's not gonna be able to get there and she's gonna pick her car
Sure.
up tomorrow morning. So, again, as I said with the gentleman, every once in a while, if you have 18 cars or 19 cars, we're not gonna crucify you, but if every single time we go by there, then we're gonna
Fair.
call you back in.
Fair.
okay.
But
Does that
17
give you enough,
total.
though? You were looking for what, 8 repair
You're looking for
spots?
26.
Right, yeah.
So total
then
is 27 spots. We typically don't have 17 cars on the lot at any given point in time for sale. I can't remember really ever having 17 cars there.
I
for
can't
sale.
remember seeing 17 cars
No,
there.
no,
No, we usually average about 14 cars a day, plus
10 and 12.
stuff that we're driving.
Yeah. So, I mean, basically what you're saying is that would entitle us to have, yeah, I mean,
You can always
if I
come
could
back.
get to a total of like 20, it would probably give us leniency to, so we wouldn't have to worry about it. But again, I don't know that,
Keep in mind, a lot of our cars that are for sale, a lot of that stuff sits. So where we have it mapped out, there may be 6 cars, those cars may sit there for a week or two, they're not coming in and out on 100 test drives,
Right.
they're sitting there.
I'm thinking in the back of my head that if there are 4 people dropping their car off, cars off in the morning, say we've got 12 cars for sale, 4 people drop off. What if there are, 2 or 3 customers coming or going?
Well,
at
if
the
you
same time
exceed, if
that
you
will-
exceed the limit during the course of the day, that's fine.
Like you
It's
said.
at the end of the night.
Ah,
Okay.
That's what we're talking
Yeah.
about, right? 17 cars at the end of the night, that's.
Well, yeah, that too, but I want to be careful.
Well,
We don't have
obviously-
cars parked all over the place either, but.
Obviously, if he has, if we go by there and he's got 15 cars in there for repair every single day, and then we
That's a
can
different
definitely bring him
story.
back in here and say, you know what, we're gonna
As much as
relook
that
at.
sounds great.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know if I see
it
that
won't happen
happening.
either. I mean, do you book in advance?
Yeah.
So you can control the number of cars that come on a regular basis.
We can
And
only-
again,
we
you'll
can
always
only
get the
take in so
surprise,
many.
but
Yeah.
most garages, they have a set schedule because you know exactly what you can get done in the course of a day and how many cars you can do. So,
And we usually don't take somebody in until we're prepared to actually do the job and finish it.
Because we don't have the space for the stuff to sit.
I would just caution, whatever the number is, that you don't have cars parked all over the sidewalk when you get busy.
Understood. And
Because
and
this
we
is a
don't.
brand new facility, it's a really nice looking building, and
Sure.
just don't want it to look.
No, neither do we.
Understood. We only have the one sidewalk that's on the main road because we're on side
Yeah.
street, so there is no
there's a
sidewalk
fen-
here.
There's a fence separating.
Yeah,
Correct.
there's a guardrail here, there's an apartment building here, so we only have a very small curb up front that we do not use.
I agree with the discussion here, that this is a little too excessive, and it's not really a fair representation for us to look at. And you're abutting a residential area. We've had problems with overcrowding in this type of facility throughout the city, and received many complaints. I would caution you to make sure it's presentable at all times, that you're not keeping vehicles in major states of disrepair there for any length of time. And as it's been stated here, if we do get complaints, we will see you back.
Understood. We won't have that with us.
So we're gonna set a number?
So what?
A number?
I'm still leaning towards 17, and we can always go up from there. You can come back quickly and request that without I don't think, there's not a whole lot of advertising if they wanted to increase the number. The only problem is, it's just, I can't really.
Right, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So
What
is
have
that
you, you've
17?
got 17 right now?
We have
for sale?
17 right now for, we've
Or
always.
used car license.
Right,
17,
cars,
correct.
yeah. I guess I'm in the back of my head, we've always had our own cars, or customers coming and going, whatnot. I think at the end of the day, 17 cars on that lot is absolutely fine. I'm concerned, we want the same that you want. We don't want chaos of cars everywhere, and, it doesn't look good for anybody. My only concern is that during the course of the day, if there are 20 cars or something like that on that lot, I just don't want to be breaking rules.
Yeah, we don't be nervous about it.
At the end of the day, you may have 20 cars.
Correct. That's what I'm concerned about. And I'm very retentive and having everything.
Well, that's what I'm concerned about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
you have 20 cars.
Yeah.
So, if we kept you at 17, how many cars would be for sale?
Probably the same number. I don't think it would change. No, lower, no, 17, same numbers what we have right now. Even though our license for 17 cars, we very rarely have 17 cars. It's typically
So you'd have
14
your
cars.
10 or 12 cars there.
Yeah, and then the rest of
The rest
them
would
would
be
be,
service.
would be
The rest
service
would be
customers,
service.
yeah.
So I have no issue with the 17 and keeping it at 17. And then if you want to come back before us after the whole thing's put together,
Fine,
and
fair.
Yeah, we'll see how it is. when the
maybe we
building's
can get a
done.
better drawing that's more
Sure. that's
visible
fine.
and, if you
Or
want.
some history. behind
Yeah.
it,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
Well,
My other,
You won't get that with us,
Yeah, we're extremely, we are, the place is immaculate, it always has been since 2008, since we bought it. We're very, the show is the big part of it, you know, we're doing BMWs, we're not selling, nothing against anything else, but, you know, we're not.
and we're both there 6 days a week, so it's not, there's no one else running the place.
You do have a great history.
Thank you.
this is all,
It's the end of the day too, I think he would be more metaphorically meaning, not
He meant it
the end of the
metaphorically.
business day, you were saying, you know, meaning the, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's at the end of the day, we're like, oh, wait.
one
Yeah, I
other,
was-
one other item that we're gonna be missing is, where you're going from, garage to gas sales to garage repair. We're gonna have to know, how many gallons of gas are gonna be on site at any one time, the motor oil, and any other miscellaneous fluids. And you can, 100 gallons of gas, 100 gallons of motor oil, and whatever.
It wouldn't even be that. I actually went to the fire department this morning
Okay.
to file for permits.
Okay.
There is no gas because there's not.
But in the tanks of the cars.
Oh, gotcha.
So,
In order to produce a license that's legitimate, you have to have that on it.
Understood.
so.
Would it be the amount of vehicles in the tank inside of it?
In the base, correct?
Well, it would be the whole place.
Yeah.
So
Basically, she definitely will affect eventually.
you might 5 gallons in every car. That's why the 100 gallons kind of covers everything.
Yeah, maybe I should
Okay.
think every car is full in worst case scenarios.
Yeah,
That's,
okay? And you can get that back to Cindy Manning.
Yeah, absolutely, it's fine. You said I can check with the fire prevention regarding that?
Okay, last call. Board members, what's your pleasure?
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of Flora Motors, Inc., 586 Willard Street, for a garage repair license with a total of 17 vehicles represented by David Bluestein. The number of gallons to be forwarded to Cindy Manning.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to grant the request of Foreign Motors, Inc., 586 Willard Street for a garage repair license. David Bloomstein representing with 17 cars total at the end of the day. All in favor? Aye. You're all set. Good luck, guys.
Appreciate that, thank you.
Yep, it's a little bit good. I'm gonna jump around now for the last couple items here. And I do have one other addendum on, that will be heard at the very end, and it's about a jewelry shop that's gonna be going through. And Chief, I'm gonna ask you for a little leniency on that, because we haven't had a quarterly check and it just came up, okay? So we can talk about that later. Agenda item number 10, hearing regarding the request of Baja Box LLC, 793 Quincy Shore Drive for a common vicular license. Thomas Holloway and Brian Schwanke, managers, attorney John D. Ietta. How are you guys today?
Good afternoon, how are you?
Very good.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board. To my left is Thomas Holloway, to my right is Brian Schwanke. This is Baja Box, Baja like Southern California. This is the former site of the Icebox. Brian Schwanke had been operating the Icebox the last four seasons. He has teamed up with Mr. Holloway, and they're kind of rebranding, doing a new concept called the Baja Box. They are going to continue serving ice cream, drinks, soft serve ice cream, frozen yogurt, things like that, but they're adding to that a bit of Southern California, street tacos, signature tacos, things like that, and adding to their menu. I have a proposed menu as well as some concept art in terms of their branding. And for Mrs. Manning, I have the original inspection sheet.
Oh, okay, thank you.
The only comments there was asking about the floor plan, which has been submitted to the Board of Health. So again, this is 793 Quincy Shore Drive. Next to it is the Clam Box, which is owned by Mr. Schwanke. He's owned that for the past 13 years.
Let's look at this 4:30 now.
Thank you, Ms. Ietta.
All right, here we go. So you have in front of you a proposed menu as well as the signage that they'll have. Majority of their business is, kind of takeout food. They'll be eating outside, most likely. There's a few spaces inside, but obviously with the warm weather, the clientele likes to be outside, get the beach ambiance. Spring is here, hopefully the weather will cooperate, and we're looking probably mid-April to late April, again, weather permitting in terms of getting it up and running.
Seasonal.
Seasonal. They think it's going to be a popular concept. I think it'll do real well down there. A lot of it's like finger food, just light fare. People can just grab that, either head to the beach or outside as well. Again, it's just a common victual license. Mr. Holloway brings with him over 20 years' experience in the restaurant industry, having worked at Rustic Kitchen as well as Legal Seafood, and Mr. Schwanke, as you know, has many, many years as well at the Clam Box. So hours of operation will be the same as the Icebox, which was 11 a.m. till 12 midnight. Most nights they will not be close to 12 midnight. Most likely it'll probably be 10 or 11 p.m. But we are asking for that option.
Before I open it up to the board, any members of the audience have any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none. So we're gonna try tacos over there?
Yep.
This is what we're gonna go with? Ice cream didn't make it?
No, they're keeping ice cream as well.
Keep ice cream
Yeah.
too? Now, do you sell ice cream at the Clam Box too?
No.
No, not at all? Okay. How's the, all alcohol going at the Clam Box?
Good.
Good, no
Yeah.
issues?
No.
No issues? No. That's good. Even though we're not here for the Clam Box, I like to know how the seasonal places are doing. And you have experience, right?
I do, sir.
Very good. Board members, I know that the building department was there, Bruce Knapp, and my office was there, Bill DeCarli. Everything was fine. Chief Banner.
Just before you open, call the fire prevention office, and just do a walkthrough. Curious question, is this a franchise or is it a standalone?
Standalone. I know they did speak with Inspector Wong as well,
Okay.
so they've been in contact.
Thank you.
What are the hours again?
11 a.m. till 12 a.m., which is midnight. And again, on any given day, it will likely, be 10 or 11 o'clock. Just the option if it's a busy holiday weekend or something that they'd like to keep open.
I think it'll be a welcome addition.
Board members.
So Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of Baja Box LLC, 793 Quincy Shore Drive, for a common victualler license represented by Attorney John D. Aida.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to grant the request of Baja Box LLC, 793 Quincy Shore Drive, for a common vicular license. Thomas Holloway and Brian Schwanke, the managers, were represented by Attorney John D. Aida. All in favor? Aye. You're all set. Good luck,
Good
gentlemen.
luck, guys.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 9, hearing regarding the request of BKV Enterprises, LLC, DBA, The Brick and Beam, Brenton Kelly, manager, for the transfer of the CV all alcohol restaurant license presently held by Sima Corp., 705 Adams Street, and they are represented by Attorney Bob Arnez. Attorney Arnez, tell us what's going on down there. We've had so many people call me about what is going on down at the Villa Rosa. It's finally nice to find out.
We're finally here. Obviously, my name is Bob Hunter, I represent BKV. They're owned by 3 people, Britton Kelly, Michael Vaughn, and Ray Butler. They've been doing a lot of work there. I think the building department's aware of it. They're rehabbing the whole place. What they plan on doing is open, and I produced a menu. There's a menu there for you. I think I produced it at the last minute. And also a seating plan for 145 people. What they plan on doing, they're having like an upper-class sports bar they have there. It's a nice place to go. And I would say that the gentlemen that are involved in this corporation have other locations that they've run for many years. They're very well experienced. They've invested a lot of money in redeveloping this property. They've invested a lot of money in redesigning this property into something that they feel fits the neighborhood. Now, I have spoken to Ian Kane with regards to this. He actually was looking forward to this opening. Prior to bringing anything forward, I brought it by the ward councilor, and that is his ward, and he was very happy with the progress they were making. He was very happy with the change it was going to consist in. I grew up right on Commerce Street, then I moved to Robinson Street. Villa Rosa was a great place. But I grew tired. I think the owners grew tired. They've taken this property. They're not buying it. They rented it, and they're looking forward to moving forward and open this this location. There is a menu there, again, I did provide a menu, a seating plan. And again, it's gonna be an upper, a higher class type of place that families can go to. It is gonna be focused for the families, I would let the board know that, so.
And the total number of seats?
145.
145.
What does it presently do? Do you have that?
I don't know that information.
I
What
know,
was the question?
the number of seats.
Oh, right now, yeah, I don't know.
Is it written on the?
I don't have that.
I know the number,
I can tell you as far as the building permit is concerned, would remain the same, and that would pretty much regulate the occupant load. So any increase in the occupancy load, the number of seating, would have to look at that, if that's what you're planning on increasing it.
So what you're telling me is it's not a huge increase in seating?
I don't have the number in front of me, but when they, in the building code process, and so for zoning purposes, they're not able to increase it without having to look at it to see the impacts that it would have.
it's been there since the 60s. I don't even know if they required, that you had to tell us how many seats were gonna be there back then.
We weren't trying to do an increase, whatever they.
But I know in the dining room area alone, they had at least 100 seats in the dining room
Yeah,
area.
let's look at.
They had not understanding the footprint of the property.
Any dramatic change from the floor plan, like is the bar still on the left side, any change?
No, it's all, the whole thing's been, the whole building, the whole inside has been completely gutted, right down to the shell, right? So,
And they actually did this, they did all this work while they were going through the process of negotiating everything. They've done a lot of work. And I know Ian Kane, Councilor Kane has, at one point, was wondering himself what was going on there.
I had many calls.
Just for the boards, a lot of times the license number, the number that's on the license, may be one number, which could be a higher number, but what regulates the occupant load is the certificate that's issued via the building.
152 people.
So what that tells me is that I don't anticipate any traffic impact either.
Oh, no.
If you're not changing the amount of people that
No,
are going,
they're
you may be a little bit
they're
busy
lowering
because you're
the seats.
successful, but
The parking's gonna stay the same, they're gonna be parking where they parking right now, and so that's.
yeah, it's
all-
always a
that's all-
hiccup, but it doesn't
yeah.
sound like that's gonna be any kind of an issue.
We renegotiated the lease with the Monroe Buffalo lot next door.
That's great.
And then the lot back, the Marinelli family owns it, so.
Well, I did get many calls on this, and people wanted to know how they were gonna be notified and when the letter was gonna come in the mail. And because it's an existing facility, there's no notification of abutters. All that's required is a advertisement in the paper, which was done on March 2nd. So that was put together. All of the other paperwork is in line. The sign-off sheets, workman's comp, emergency contact forms. When I did speak with neighbors, they actually praised the gentlemen that were purchasing it. They were very much relieved to know that that's what it was gonna be. So I probably had about 4 or 5 neighbors that wanted to be emailed about this before it came, and I did send that email out about a week ago. Before the board asks any more questions, does anybody in the audience have any comments, questions?
I do it.
7:05, just come on up and just state your name.
I'm one of those callers, Mr. Shield.
Oh, okay.
Do I address you?
You can just stand right there and you can address us, and just your name and address, so we have.
John McHugh, 21
John,
Victory
that's right, we
Ave.
did speak.
Yes, we did. And there's a few other neighbors here from Victory Ave too that were concerned.
Okay.
I kind of put together a list from what they were concerned with, and I was concerned with, so I just go by that, and it shouldn't take too long.
Go right ahead.
Is the closing, what's the closing time?
1 AM.
1 a.m.? 1 a.m.
That's
And is
just
that-
what it was with the villa.
That's what it was with the villa? Yeah. There won't be any outdoor seating. Correct. Because we're concerned about noise, it is
Yeah.
a neighborhood, you know. Louvered windows in the front, you know, all the
Time to
places
open up.
now.
Yeah, we decided not to do that, just
Yeah.
specifically as far as neighborhood concerns.
Okay. Entertainment license?
We will be going to cabaret license.
They'll be coming up for a cabaret license then. And that's 3 or less, and that would be a guy playing guitar, singing, karaoke night, as long as it's 3 or less.
But not the 3 or less, you mean, could you have a band?
If they're 3 or less.
Oh, 3 or less.
3 or less instruments, yes.
And we wouldn't be looking
we're not looking to make this no nightclub. This
No,
is just have the
this-
ability,
yeah.
if you wanted to do a Sunday brunch with,
St. Patrick's Day, you
acoustic
might
guy
wanna have
come
a
in.
couple of Irish people in there
Right.
singing Irish tunes, things like that.
That never happens. Parking, you know that parking has been an issue, and there are a couple of big lots there, which is good.
It's good that they renegotiated the lease with both of them, so that's
Okay.
good.
All right, that's good, yeah. There were a couple of spots, a couple of no parking signs on the street when the villa was there, and those have disappeared. I don't know if that's in the works to put those back up, or
Where were they?
they were directly to the side of the village.
Oh, on the dead end street there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's our
Victory.
street, Victory,
Okay.
yeah.
How many houses are down there, about 10? 10, 12? So you'd be looking to get those signs back up there?
Get those signs back there, yeah.
Okay, that's something we can look at.
We'll look at it.
Because my wife is a teacher and my dad's 91, I have to go over there all the time. There are times we couldn't get on or up our street because of that block right there.
And where are they, where are the parking spaces specifically? Right to the right of the building on Victory?
On
the
Victory,
same
yeah.
side as the?
On the same side, yeah.
Okay,
Because there's an apartment across the way, you wouldn't be able to make that a no parking.
okay.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. I was concerned about, just because of what I've heard about the Banshee, concerned about crime, concerned about people milling about that shouldn't be around there, and I was wondering if surveillance cameras were outdoor and indoor surveillance, mostly outdoor surveillance cameras, that's in the mix?
Yes.
Beautiful, that's great.
That's not required either.
It's not required, but
It's great that they're doing,
Yeah,
I just
no,
want,
this-
I don't want people to think that, oh, we can make them do that.
well, no, that's not what I'm
Right,
looking for either,
okay.
but I
It's
want
great that
everything on
they-
the record too.
Yep, they're good,
And you
yeah.
wanna make sure that everybody's comfortable with what we're doing, that's
Yeah.
one of the key things.
Because we are, there's a lot of kids around, it's right near the Sunshine School,
Yeah.
the Congregational Church, so we just want to keep
It,
it in
it,
there.
it only helps with safety, I agree.
Yeah, yeah. Two issues. The villa, rats were a problem. And you probably know this, I think I probably called your office. Because of their dumpster. They weren't maintaining it. And, just wanted to know, is there anything different?
We've
that
actually
done?
been down there within the past week, and we've baited down there already,
Okay,
in the rear of the property.
okay. So what would happen in vis-a-vis rats?
What will happen is, once they're up and open, they'll have a pest control company that comes in on a monthly basis, and they'll have bait stations out in their dumpster area that will be used on a regular basis.
Did the villa have that?
Yes,
They did.
yes,
And we still had a problem.
yes. Well, the villa's been closed for the last almost year,
Yeah, we haven't had.
so,
They, again, was to make sure that the community, she's gonna be vigilant.
Good, that's all I asked. Yeah. And I spoke to Mr. Kelly about, we used to have a lot of sewage backups in the neighborhood, but I was told that there was no, when you did your gut, there was no grease traps or?
It didn't appear, but again, the place had been
Yeah.
stripped pretty much. There was nothing left in it.
So is there anything we could do to keep that from happening?
there'll be,
There will be grease
there'll
traps. I don't think we'd
be
be
brand
allowed
new
to
grease
put a
traps,
trap.
up to code, current code, when they get put in, because it's all being brand new built.
Okay,
So everything's gonna be up to code 2017.
okay, great. Lastly.
With the grease traps, what happens is, and this, we see it with much older restaurants in the city, that a lot of places weren't required to put grease traps in when they first went in. And back in around, I'm gonna say the early 80s, that's when they went around to try to get people to install grease traps.
Okay.
But it gets kind of difficult to get it to be done. And then once you got them to put it in, they weren't being maintained on a regular basis. And that's the other key problem. But now that we have, better technology and everything else, we know that the grease trap has to be able to be accessible so that they can clean it out on a regular basis. All that's gonna be addressed.
The last thing I had, and you probably don't have to do anything about it, is trees. We used to have a ton of trees on the street, and it seems like we've lost just about all of them. And is that something that we can get put in? Or?
I can definitely put the call in, but I can't promise you, I can't grow a tree.
Only God.
Yeah. So.
That's all I had. That's all I had.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You should come right up and just state your name.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Tricia Bolas, I live at 24 Victory. I was just wondering about the potential for like a sidewalk that's directly next to the building. So it's tarred and the cars tend to pull up there. even though-
That's where you wanted to put the no
parking.
parking signs, right, what she's
Right.
talking about, right?
Yeah, but I was also thinking, just people tend to, pull up there real quick and run in. And if there were a sidewalk, at least they wouldn't be right against the building.
I
Pushed out
agree
a little bit,
100%,
but still
and that
passage.
would not be on them, that would be on the
City.
city of Quincy to put in the curbing. And I can look into it, I can't guarantee it,
Yeah.
but I can definitely put that call in when I put the call in down at the DPW for the
'Cause my
traffic
kids,
sign
yeah.
and the trees and
I like my
that'll
kids to
be
be
it.
able to walk on the sidewalk and get around without having to go into the street. Okay, thank you.
I mean, they can also put a sign on the side of the wall there, no parking too.
Yep.
We can work with them to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Come right up.
My name is Kathleen Brody, I live at 17 Victory Ave, Quincy. First off, with that no parking sign, I gotta tell you that that sign meant nothing. There was always cars parked there, just for your info. My main concern is the 1 AM noise that's going to be outside my window. That's what my concern is. And the rat problem. I've been told that because I had tomato plants, I caused the rats. And it was amazing. And I'm not gonna plant this year, but I'm disappointed, but believe me, we have rats all summer.
You should plant.
Yeah, you should. Track rats.
They don't, they eat them. I had raised beds and the rat came right up from the bottom. With chicken wire that was temperamental.
They still get in there?
They're sitting
Yeah. Any other comments, questions, concerns?
I just want to make one quick comment, so.
John Rutherford, 62 Brumwell Road. I was gonna say, we honestly, we need high-quality restaurants in Quincy. So if you're coming up here and you're gonna say, we're gonna put a great place where I can take my dad, go get a steak, I live off of Brumwell Road, which is off of Adams, I would love that. But the Villa Rosa was a place where people would go to get food. It was almost like two places. It was a bar and it was a place where we would get food. I think the neighborhood is glad that the bar is gone, but they probably miss the food. Okay, so a good restaurant really doesn't need to be open till 1. I mean, 11 o'clock, it would almost force you to change your hand to make sure you were making your money from the restaurant. Obviously, the neighbors, people are gonna park everywhere all the time. I actually go to Bank of America. You can park right in front of there now to go to the Bank of America. I park in the muffler place, like you're saying. But when you say that it's gonna stay open till 1, only bars do. I just kind of looked up. Am I correct? Maybe you can tell me. In at Bay Point, I think that's one of the best places we got in Quincy for a restaurant. They're open. Are they open till 1?
They're open till 1 AM.
So, but they stopped doing food at 10? Like, will you keep your kitchen open?
That's up to them.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, because like, I know we can't force you to make me a steak at midnight, but if you are gonna be open at 1, you know what I'm saying?
A
Really?
lot of places have a reduced menu, and I know if you go up to Coops after 10 o'clock, the menu drops down to just pizza and appetizers. You can't get full meals.
Okay, okay.
But then you can get pizza and appetizers right up till,
I'm for it. Like I said, I'm for a really high-class place. I'm just not really for a bar. You know what I mean? Because that means we're gonna have, I actually, like I said, I don't even have to get into it. But bottom line is, like I said, just do the neighborhood right. Thank you.
Your plan.
One last, come on up, sir.
How you doing? Good afternoon. John Donahue from 38 Wallace Road. When do you folks plan to open?
In June, sometime in June. These are the work they're doing, and the goal is in June.
So you'll be opening in June?
Hopefully.
Okay. All I can ask of you folks is to be respectful of our neighborhood.
Absolutely.
I did have a long conversation last week with Mr. Butler.
Okay.
And and he sought me out. And he did advise me that these folks would be very respectful of our neighborhood. In fact, he brought that up to me. And he did mention to me your experience. And I have 2 boys that are Boston police officers. One of them is very friendly with Mr. Vaughn. My son tells me that Mr. Vaughn is a highly respectable gentleman. So do a good job and respectful to the neighborhood. And I think most of us on Wallace Road look forward to a first-class establishment. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Schill. Thank you for your callbacks and your emails.
Any other members, comments, questions?
If you know, I have a, what's your experience?
So,
Where have you operated?
myself personally, I have almost 20 years as an owner. I started in the business as a 13-year-old kid at the Stockyard in Brighton, and was managing there as a 22-year-old. At the age of 27, I opened up a restaurant bar in Huntington Ave called Connell Atkins. Owned that for, owner-operator for 10 years. In the last 7.5, almost 8 years, I've been the owner-operator at the North Star in the West End. So, and my partners also have combined between the 2 of them probably 40 years of experience as owners as well.
And you'll be on scene mostly with your partners? I'm going to be the point man on the operation.
He is actually in the process of selling the North Star. I think they have his hearing tomorrow at the city of Boston to transfer the license there. His main job will be this.
And, well, you've got partners, so I assume that you'd be accessible anyways. And I would just recommend that your staff be tips trained at some point. I don't know if you...
No, insurance-wise.
Yeah, I don't know if you do it in Boston, but, you know, we kind of recommend it. We don't
No,
mandate it,
it's a
but we
good
do
incentive to
recommend
do it insurance-wise, because your rates go down insurance by doing it, so.
And I think that you obviously know that your neighbors are the biggest asset about the business
Yeah, I know,
anyways.
from what I've heard,
Yeah.
people are excited about it, so
And in
we're
fact,
excited to give them a good
know,
product.
you knowing the louver windows, the parking lot, you reestablished the surveillance cameras, so I mean, it's very positive. Great.
Yeah, we're excited. We're
yeah.
looking forward to putting a nice neighborhood, family-friendly, that everyone's gonna feel welcome coming into.
We're excited to have you here.
So, thank you.
Board members?
The building is fully sprinkled?
It will be.
So, when you do this, it's gonna be 2 votes, one for a cabaret license and then one for the CD all alcohol license.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of BKV Enterprises LLC, DBA The Brick and Bean, Brenton Kelly manager, for the transfer of the CD all alcohol restaurant license presently held by SEMA Corp., 705 Adams Street, for 1 a.m. Closing.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to grant the request of BKV Enterprises LLC, DBA The Brick and Bean, Brenton Kelly the manager, for the transfer of the CV all alcohol restaurant license presently held by SEMA Corp., 705 Adams Street, represented by Attorney Bob Harness. All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of BKV Enterprises LLC, DBA The Brick and Bean, Brenton Kelly manager, represented by Bob Harness, for a cabaret license for 1 a.m. closing.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to grant the request of BKV Enterprises LLC, DBA The Brick and Bean, Brenton Kelly the manager, for the cabaret license for 705 Adams Street, represented by Attorney Bob Harness. All in favor?
Aye.
You're all set. Good luck, and we hope to see you in June with the...
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks,
Mr. Chairman, and through you to the board, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
It's in there. Chief, I'm gonna do this, license. Okay? So, what am I, can we have, Attorney Pinta come on up, we're gonna do the